Good afternoon, we welcome you here again today. This time we are in Doggoland. Those of us who know the Greenland certainly know Doggoland. Doggoland is actually temporary dog care. It's an amazing, great club, and we're sitting here with the president of this club, Dána Vršková. Hello, Daji.
Hi.
So the topic we would like to discuss with you today is a topic that resonates with society. It's actually called separation anxiety. I'm sitting here with Dána because Dána has experience not only with her own dogs, but also with other people's dogs, where she helps with training and actually helps manage separation anxiety. So Dána, first of all, thank you for making time for you. And secondly, could you maybe just explain to me what separation anxiety actually is?
Separation anxiety is basically a state in which a dog is left completely alone at home and in some significant way feels quite uncomfortable with the situation. They experience stress or anxiety. It most often shows up as barking, howling, and destroying things.
That sounds like something you definitely wouldn't want to have at home, right?
Definitely not. Especially for people who live in apartments, it's a bit better in a house. But even then, your neighbors won't thank you.
And I actually deal with this quite often in my counseling sessions because customers come to us wanting to get CBD drops for their dog to help them cope with separation anxiety. And I always say CBD drops are good, great. They're a solid and foundational base, but absolutely essential to also regularly and consistently train with the dog, which specifically means preparing them thoroughly for the owner's eventual departure. What has your experience been with this, for example?
I use CBD drops a lot, mainly always for separation anxiety. I always say it's like a crutch. You always need the training, but the CBD drops really are a crutch that helps us. I divide it a bit into mild separation anxiety, which is just a little nudge, and then the really severe cases where dogs even start to self-harm. Those are truly a higher level, and in those cases CBD drops are absolutely essential along with the training.
And a prime example of severe separation anxiety is, or rather was, the female dog who was sniffing me as soon as I arrived here. Can you tell us something about this female dog, Dána? What was actually troubling her? What is she even doing here? Because she doesn't belong to your association's dogs. And how did you deal with it, for example? Or tell us something about her?
Of course, the little female dog is named Benjamin, and she's 10 years old. She's a crossbreed of an Australian cattle dog, and her owners reached out to me because she was really suffering from a severe form of separation anxiety. When her owner closed the apartment door and left for work, she would watch her on the camera and it would make her want to cry because the states the dog was experiencing were really very difficult. She was capable of injuring herself, destroying doors and shelves. She would simply jump onto the shelf by the window, tear things off the wall, damage a lot of things, pull cables out of the wall, and break glass. So the owner came home and the female dog was completely covered in blood and the situation was really very serious. So they reached out to me to see if I could help them. So we made an arrangement. First, we had a meeting where we discussed everything and then we took the little female dog in with us. So we have her here for what's called retraining, and we really approach it in a way that we teach the dog. But then towards the end of her stay with us, the owners come and we introduce them to everything. I regularly send photos and updates about how we're progressing with the dog so that the owners know their dog is okay, that we're working on things, and then I show them how to maintain the routine we've established. Now Benjamin's stay with us is coming to an end and I have to knock on wood and say that we managed to handle it. Now we'll keep working to transfer this progress to his home so that he and his owner can really overcome the separation anxiety together. And for me, the most important thing with these severe cases is to really address it and not let it go too far, because even with Benjamin it started. His owner has glasses and it began quite subtly, chewed up some shoes, socks, things like that.
It escalated.
It escalated.
Don't let it escalate.
Don't let it escalate. Really address it right away. It might look funny to some people, like the dog pulled something out of the trash and chewed it up, but these are really the first signs of a big problem and it's important to stop it right away while you still can.
How long does such a re-education take? How long has the female dog actually been with you? How long does the owner actually have to part with the dog when it's really reached a point where it's either eviction or simply sending the dog somewhere for re-education?
With Benjaminka, it's been a month. Her situation was really serious. Since she's a little female dog who doesn't like strangers, we had to get to know each other so she'd be comfortable. Her owner was worried, but we managed everything. We didn't pressure the little female dog. We found our own way of communicating, and I think a month is about optimal for such severe conditions.
So when I have a dog with separation anxiety, people sometimes come to me for advice. Very often I recommend a specific concentration of drops to them, and then I refer them to you. So tell me, where can people find you? What can you offer them if they have a dog at home with separation anxiety and want to work on it?
You can definitely find me on the website D'Ajout, or on Facebook. If you search for our group Doggoland, you'll usually find me everywhere there. I'm actually also the chairwoman of the group, so all the contact information leads to me, and it's no problem to get in touch with me. I offer online training, individual consultations, or what I personally think is even better, individual training, where you either come to us or we meet, discuss the situation, and then decide if we can handle it through training sessions where I help you work with your dog, or if necessary, through full retraining where your dog would stay with us if it's a more difficult case.
And what do you usually recommend at the very beginning, before people actually meet with you, or when they really want to call and say, I have a dog with separation anxiety? What is your most common response when you want to give them advice? Because of course you don't want to leave them waiting for a week. You know, these people need to deal with it right now. So what do you usually recommend?
It's very individual, depending on the specific form, exactly what is being addressed. But for me, the absolute primary thing is to teach the dog to stay in one place. It might seem trivial, but it's really about teaching the dog that this is its spot, and until you release it from that spot, it doesn't leave. You define its space so it knows that when you say it should stay here, it stays here, and that's non-negotiable. It could be a dog bed. I also work a lot with crates. I know it's a hot topic in society, but for me, as a proper training tool and for the dog's safety, which is always my top priority, it's a great aid, but you need to know how to teach the dog to use it. It's not like you can just toss the dog in there, close the door, and call it a day. Dogs can also get hurt, so it's not exactly the easiest thing. So it's important to have a quality crate, and also to know how to teach the dog to use it. If you need help, feel free to reach out to me, no problem.
Great, that really sounds like a recipe for happiness for all the struggling owners who are dealing with this right now. Actually, separation anxiety really became an issue after COVID. Is that right?
Yes, after COVID, dogs were ending up in shelters mainly because of separation anxiety. That was actually one of the main reasons people were giving them up, because during COVID they were with them 24/7.
Of course, they had to go back to work.
And they had to go to work, and it was a big...
And I think it's really better to address this early on, rather than having to place the dog in some facility or something like this. Disencode is a problem that can actually be solved quite easily. So it's great that Daja is here for these dogs, both her own and others. We've also added some links to websites for you during this video, and we definitely recommend Daja. At the moment, she and her girlfriend have 10 dogs at home, so they definitely have experience with training. And if you have any questions, feel free to write to us below the video. Daja, thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much as well. Take care.
Goodbye.